Hello and welcome everyone to Educational Research. My name is Peggy Shannon Baker and I am a new assistant professor in the Department of Curriculum, Foundations, and Reading. Today I'm going to give you a brief video as a kind of welcome / overview and walkthrough of our course on Folio, or Desire to Learn. I have it open right now to my picture because you can't see me because this is a video brought to you by Screencast-O-Matic. In other videos you will be able to see me and or the content. So welcome to our course and I look forward to having you. Let's check out what we have inside. So you can see that I so far am signed on as a student, so this will be approximately what your screen should look like when you enter the course. Up here you'll have a navigation for the different courses that you'll be taking set up with Folio. So once you get into our course, which you'll notice has both sections, we're all together. Yay, community! You'll see that there is a bar here for news, which you can collapse and expand. You'll see a notice that I sent out about our course textbooks, which are also listed on the University Bookstore website. A calendar of upcoming major due dates. You can see it goes pretty far down. Other updates, and way down here you'll see you can start to access some of the content for the course. Another shortcut key is up here to content, so let's go and check that out. You'll see here that as we progress through the course, the weekly modules will become available to you or activated for you, that you'll be able to see them there. For now, let's start with Week 1 Introductions. Here you're going to see a list of a number of different pages, and most weeks will not have this many pages, but because there's so much information I need to share with you from the outset, here are all of the important policies, expectations, and documents to get you situated and oriented well to our course. It's very easy to navigate through this content. You simply click on a page, it will load the page for you. You can click these next or previous arrows to navigate through it, or you can go back to the table of contents and even jump around if you wanted to. So I would like for you all to work your way through this Week 1 module that refers to our first week of the course, which is August 14th through the 19th. And once you have navigated through all of this, you'll be able to see also your check marks here, indicating that you have completed the whole thing. You can see here that there's one topic that I haven't quite checked out as a student, and it appears to be this discussion area for introductions. I want to highlight a couple of things. Please make sure that you complete this introduction survey that is here. It's actually a Google form that I've embedded into our page. It's essentially collecting basic information about you all that I'll use to inform my teaching of the course, as well as empirical articles that I'll pull in to talk about in my lectures. So please make sure you complete that early on. I want to make a note about the course structure. So I did include this page in here to tell you a little bit about how I've set up the course. Basically, it's following a kind of flipped class philosophy. For those of you who are not familiar with flipped classes, the basic idea there is that all of the basic comprehension level knowledge and information that's shared with students happens outside of the class. So sometimes that's lectures, sometimes it's readings, basic self-assessments and things like that happen outside, so that when the students get to the classroom, they can do more application-based activities. Now, in an online course, we don't actually have a face-to-face classroom, but I'm going to apply the philosophy here, and the way that I do that is through the lectures and the major assessments. So you'll notice as we get moving on in the course, there will be what's called lectures. Those will be video or audio presentations from me or guest speakers about the content at hand. I'm only going to spend a very minimal amount of time summarizing the reading. So my expectation is that for the week following the course schedule, you would have already read the chapter that corresponds to our topic for the week. And then you'll go on to view the lecture. And then in the lecture, I'm really going to be digging deeper into an issue or debate in the field. I'll provide an overview or a kind of critical discussion of an empirical example related to our topic for the week, and things like that. If for some reason, after you've read for the week, after you've viewed the audio or video lecture, you still don't quite understand what's going on, I have a list of ideas here for you to continue your learning or to improve your comprehension of the material for the week. And then each module, you can see that we've broken everything up into what I call weekly modules, where each module has some kind of activity and or assessment for you to work on. And you'll see from looking at the syllabus that I've broken the major assessments into these three categories. Module activities, which are multimodal activities designed for you to grapple with or apply some of the learning. A mock research project, which is a cumulative project that you'll work on piece by piece over the semester to essentially design an ethical and well-designed research study, or 2 different exams. And then each module will also conclude with this kind of section called Extending Your Learning, where I'll provide additional links to articles, videos, blogs, news posts, anything like that, that would help extend your learning, hence the title. It's important to note that these aren't required, but if you're having trouble grasping the content when you were reading earlier, you'll notice that I direct you to kind of check out some of those. So that is a basic overview of the structure for the course. I want to highlight another key component that I have here that I haven't seen in other classes at Georgia Southern, and that is a page for all of the information about assessments. So knowing that I, as a student, was always really interested in what are the expectations for the assignments as I'm going into the course so that I can plan my time accordingly. You can go back and look at the course schedule here and figure out what is due when, but it's really here in this page about the assessments where I detail the specific expectations for each piece. So like the week 1 module, you can navigate through this in the same way, viewing each of the pages. But then with each type of assessment, I've provided a general introduction, the course level learning objectives that this assessment is matched up with, important due dates, how it will be graded, how you'll submit it, and in what format, and whether or not revisions are accepted. And then with each, you'll notice that I've directed you to the instructor's general discussion area. I'll just go ahead and click this link so you can see where it takes us. Here you can post any kind of question that you might have about any of the assessments. So you can see I've already have some threads set up. Discussion area for exams. Anyone who has questions about the exams, a question about a module activity, or a question about one of the statements for this mock research project, go ahead and put it in there. You can subscribe to these to see when your peers have posted. You're also more than welcome to respond to your peers as well. If there's a general question or comment that you have that's not represented in a category here, you can always start a new thread. Just make sure that you put a descriptive subject line and the kind of content here so that other people, when they see it, will be able to figure out what you're interested in talking about there. Let's get back to that assessment page. So I went to content, assessment information. I can start here with the mock research project. So here, this is a major kind of cumulative project worth about 50% of your grade. You can see that I've broken up each of the components listed by their due dates. I won't go into that. You're encouraged to carefully read through all of this. And then you'll see with some of them, I've even listed the questions you could consider while you're writing these here. And you can see I've listed the due dates, how it will be graded. You can click on this link to pull up a document that I'll be using to grade, which had to be scrolled up here. I'll be using these benchmarks to grade, in this case, your mock research project ethics statement. So you can see, hopefully, that I've put in a lot of time and effort into the front hand, organizing and writing out my expectations for the class and for your assessments. And specifically, really, what you'll notice too is that I put in why I've included these particular types of assessments. You'll notice that here in the introductions, as well as the rubrics, there's also some information in there too about why we're doing these assessments. I put in a lot of time, so I hope that you feel like these are helpful assessments. So I believe, let me go over one other thing before I stop. So with each of the modules, you'll automatically have a link to the particular assessment, whether it's a module activity, one of the mock research project statements, or the exam. You'll already have that link here. If for some reason you wanted to jump around, you enter the course, you got to do that discussion post. You don't want to have to go through all of the content pages. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. So again, I'm here at the home page. I could scroll down and say, I know I still need to post my introduction so I can get verified for the class. So I might even just go down here to the content browser. You can see I clicked on the week 1 module, and I'm just going to scoot right over to that discussion area. Now, since I know it's a discussion, I could also get there by clicking on the communication tab and discussions. And it will show me all of the different types of discussion areas that are already set up or available to you. And you can also navigate through there this way. And then when you're ready to introduce yourself, click Start a New Thread. Then finally, one important piece of information, once you read the syllabus, you'll notice that I have indicated the best way, the quickest way to get in contact with me with a question about the course is to write me an email, but through Folio. So you can see I've clicked it on communication and email, and here you can go into compose. It's popped up in another window, so let me bring it over here. And here you can type in, it's already populating with my name once you start to type in my name, and you'll write a very descriptive subject, something like question about maybe attendance verification. Here you'll type email, hopefully writing dear so-and-so, thank you sincerely, and those things. If you need to upload something, you can upload that there. And also, sorry, you can't see this last bit. Down at the bottom, there's a cancel button if you want to. You can choose to save it or send it as a draft. I'm not going to send myself an email. So I'll just go ahead and save it as a draft, and I'll minimize the window. Then you can see that it's saved here. You can also see if you have any sent messages saved here. Then if you have a message coming in, it'll indicate it up here in this window here. So it's important that you check your Folio email in here, but also that you set up your profile so that you receive notifications from the class. You can see that here I've already have it set up to send notifications if I have any selected to my Georgia Southern. You might change it to something else. Just make sure that it's available there. You can also choose to get an email when something has been posted or created. For the students, I especially recommend these here, that you get a notification when grades are posted. I know that's going to be really important for you. So I believe that concludes my walkthrough tour of our course. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all, and I'll see you in the discussion area for introductions.